What's going on, everyone? This is Ryan with Automatic Comics, and I've got another unboxing video. Picked up some more books. I think all of these off of eBay except for one. I think one of them I picked up off of a Instagram claim sale, but the rest off of eBay. So I'd go through these, show these books off, talk about them a little bit. This time, you are not going to have to watch me open these up. I'm actually glad that I didn't do it this time, because I actually had one book that I had to return because I opened it up right away, and it had a detached bottom staple or detached on the front cover that wasn't disclosed, and so I ended up reaching out to the seller. They apologized, they took the return, everything's fine with that, but yeah, I don't have that book on me anymore. But we're going to go through the rest of these. The first one I'm actually going to show was from the last unboxing video that I did. And I just thought I'd show this one because in that video it had a bunch of tape on it, and so you couldn't really see the full book and get a good look at it. And so this is Fantastic Four number 110, the green color air variant. And so this book, I mean, it turned out super, super nice. Actually nicer than I was expecting it to be. So pretty happy with this one. And just kind of take you can get a close look at it. You can see there's a little bit of like color rub in the corner box up here, but otherwise this book is really nice. I mean, it's got a few small spine ticks, but yeah, it is a very clean, nice copy of this book. I had never owned a copy of this book before. Now I'm definitely going to be getting this one graded, and we'll see how it does. But yeah, I've got to get it pressed and cleaned and sent off to CGC, all that kind of fun stuff. But yeah, super. I mean, the colors are just so cool on this one. I mean, it looks better, in my opinion. It looks better than what it was supposed to look like with the when the blue ink is actually present. But yeah, Fantastic Four number 110, the air variant, super cool book. All right, the next book I picked up, I think this is the one. Yeah, this is the one that I got from a Instagram claim sale, and this is Amazing Mystery Funnies. This is volume 2, number 10. And you can see, like, it is a low-grade copy, but it's actually kind of fun getting these older books in low grades, because then you don't really worry about handling them. I often do kind of like flip-through videos of some of the Golden Age books, especially if they're just a little more handled, had a little more handling wear over their life, and so I'm not really worried about, messing around with them. And this is one of those cases. This book, it's not a completely split spine. There's like maybe 1 inch that's still attached, but somebody put this not even clear tape, but I think it's called like paper tape across the spine. They probably did it back in the 40s or the 50s or something. I mean, this is maybe a little later than that, but probably around there. This book is from, I believe, 1939. So very old book, but a super cool cover. It's actually considered a classic cover. He's got the classic cover designation. This would probably get like a 1. It is complete. Everything is there. It's just got that mostly split spine and that tape along it. But yeah, not a book. Again, another one. I have never owned this one before. You almost never see this book come up for sale. And so super cool to see Amazing Mystery Funnies, a raw copy, volume 2, number 10. I'll probably film a flip through at some point for this book. I'll kind of like quickly show just some of the interior, just because, like I said, I'm not really worried about, about handling this one. But you can see that tape is on the back edge too. And it's keeping the spine all together. It is a detached cover. Here's the opening splash page. The Speed Centaur, very popular character nowadays. And yeah, so volume 2, number 10, from October of 1939. I'll show you that little the indicia down there. So October 1939, volume 2, number 10. But yeah, super cool book. And like I said, it's kind of fun getting some of these raw, and especially when they're lower grade like this, I can take them out and handle them like this, and I don't really worry too much about it because I'm not going to lower the grade. It's possible I could do some damage. You still don't want to do that. You want to still try to handle it as best you can, but I'm not going to really impact the grade of the book. And they're meant to be read, right? That's what everybody's always telling me. So now we've got next book, super cool book. Actually, I picked this one up off of an Instagram claim sale too, so sorry, I lied at the beginning. I had 2 of them. Vault of Horror, number 35. This is probably my favorite Johnny Craig cover from EC, from the Golden Age, for just anything. Like, I mean, he mostly did PCH, or pre-code horror, but I think this cover has it's got that perfect mix of humor and kind of like the over-the-top violence, and the colors are really great on it. I like the red on the top and everything. But if you've never seen this one before, he's basically given his wife this casket for Christmas as Merry Christmas to my wife, and then he's behind her with the X. And so some people say that this could be the kind of the before picture, or the before cover for Crime Suspense Stories 22, where you've got the beheading cover, because that's also Johnny Craig. This book definitely has some pretty serious water damage along the spine here. There may be some mold in here. There's definitely stuff going on. I mean, I don't know if that's mold or what, but I mean, regardless, it still presents pretty well for what it is. I mean, there's no big pieces missing. You have this damage along the edge here, but the main image, that you're looking for looks good. The colors look good. So, like, to me, this is a great low-grade copy of Vault of Horror 35. Super cool book. And like I said, probably my favorite Johnny Craig cover. It's not quite the over-the-top violence that you get with Crime Suspense Stories 22 or some of the other stuff from the Crime Suspense Stories run that he did. But yeah, Vault of Horror 35. Awesome. All right. Next book I picked up with the intention of getting this one graded. It looked like a pretty nice copy. I've got it at about an 8 to an 8.5. There's a little damage on the back, and it definitely has to get pressed. But this is Star Trek number 3. And so this is the Gold Key Star Trek run. There's definitely some value in these books, especially in the higher grades. And like I said, I've got this one at an 8 to an 8.5. I think it would be better if it didn't have that little bit of damage. You can't really see it on the front. You can maybe, let's see if we can I'll probably get an angle where it'll show up, but it's like right down here. It's like it got like punched up or something. So there's a little ding and a small tear on the back, and so it all just needs to be pressed out and all that kind of thing. But overall, a pretty nice copy of this book. Got Spock on the cover there. So Gold Key, it's really obnoxious with the Gold Key run because they don't put the issue on the cover. And so I had I had that collection of Vampirella books that also had a bunch of really high grade Star Trek Gold Key books in it, and almost every copy the original owner had written the issue number on the cover. It actually didn't impact the grades, or not in any noticeable way. I had one that came back I think a 9.6, I think, at least on one of them, and maybe a 9.4 on a couple others, a bunch of 9.2s and that kind of thing. So there are small amounts of pen, and especially in those types of cases where it generally doesn't get, it doesn't ding the book. But Star Trek number 3, cool book. All right, next one. This one's a little bit disappointing. It's not quite as nice as I thought it was going to be. It's still a nice book, but it just has a lot of this, like, I mean, it's staining, but it's not. It's a light staining. It's kind of like see-through staining, but you really see it at an angle. This is the Jetsons number 1. And so Jetsons number 1, first appearance of the Jetsons in comics, definitely a pretty desirable book. And it's especially difficult to come across this book in nice condition. And this one does present very well. It's got like kind of this, more or less like a stacking curl, a little bit of a reading crease on the edge here, some spine wear, but then let's see if I can get it to show. There you go. You see like all that kind of like spotting on the cover. It's just like it got like sprinkled with some type of like water or something that's left a little bit of residue all over the cover. And so it's absolutely gonna harm the grade on this one. I haven't decided what I want to do with it, if I'm going to get it graded or if I'm going to just leave it raw. I'm leaning towards leaving it raw. It is a very nice presenting copy. It looks great in the Mylar, but I think that kind of like water damage or whatever it is, like the spotting, the staining, is just going to knock it down too much to really be worth sending in for grading. But still, a cool book. First appearance of the Jetsons in comics. It's a great looking cover. And looks really good in the Mylar. But yeah, just too bad that I knew there was a little bit, and there's just a little more than I was expecting. All right, the next book. This one. I would have bet that this book was going to show up and it was going to be incomplete. And I was still going to be okay with it. I don't remember exactly who I picked it up from, but I feel like it was almost like a record store or something. It didn't feel like a comic seller. And, they had pictures of, I think, like the front and the back and like maybe a couple interior pages, but it just did not give me that warm, fuzzy feeling that this was going to show up and it was complete. And I was pleasantly surprised. This book, so I was like, I will probably get a 0.5, you know, and I think with the way it is, it's probably going to be a 1. You know, it's still a lower grade book, but being complete is a very nice surprise for this one. This is Shield Wizard number 12, and it's a World War II cover. You've got, you know, the Shield Wizard or the Shield, not the Shield Wizard. You got the Shield and the Wizard on the cover, beating up Nazis there. I can't remember his sidekick's name. I don't remember, but this is the Wizard in the back here. It's the Shield right here. But yeah, I mean, it's a solid presenting copy from the front. There is some pieces missing on the back. But yeah, like the way that this was presented and the fact that the cover was split and detached, I was just like, man, this thing is going to be missing. It's going to be missing pages. And it's not, you know, very, very pleasantly surprised. So here's the, so here it is out of the, you know, out of the bag there. And yeah, like presents really well, but it is split and there's the back and it's missing kind of this piece over on the side here. But like with this type of book, you just kind of assume that it's going to show up and it's missing things. But it was the thing that was really promising was when I opened it up and so this is the interior and it's like a nice interior, like page quality is nice, but I saw the staple was firmly attached. And I can't remember if the centerfold is detached or not. It might be on this one. But this is one of those books that when you count the pages, yeah, the centerfold is detached, but it's still, everything is all there. But yeah, there's the, you know, you can see the staple isn't going through. But this is one of those books that will throw you off because I'm almost certain it was this one that usually if you're used to Silver Age, Bronze Age, and even most Golden Age, when you are flipping through and counting pages, I don't remember how many pages are in this one. It's probably like 64 or something, or 68. And you're used to basically dividing that page number by 2. And then you count that, you know, half of that into the, well, let's see, dividing the page number by 2 and then count half of that to the middle. And that's where you find the centerfold. This one, I'm almost certain it didn't work out that way. And it's because a lot of these books that are especially from the World War II period, to save paper, to use paper more efficiently, they have what were called half sheets. And so you'll have these pages where it's actually just a single sheet that has a little kind of like fold. I've shown it in some other videos before. And so it's like you'll get, maybe it's 18 pages on the front and 14 on the back instead of 16 and 16. And so it can really throw you off in your count. And you might be thinking like something's wrong here or whatever. And it's not. It's just that it used these, you know, they use these half sheets. And I can't remember if this one had, I'm almost certain this one has them. But let's see if I can find one. I can show you. Okay, so I found one. They actually, it looks like MLJ is doing the half sheets a little bit different than I've seen with some other publishers. Usually they have this little lip that folds over onto the other side. This one doesn't, so I want to be kind of careful with it. But you can see how that, I don't know if you can see that there, how it's like its own loose page. And so it is stapled in, but it's just, it's like from it being like an offset staple on the front a little bit, it is stapled in, but it doesn't have anything on the other side. And so this one is, I think it's 16 pages to the centerfold and 12 pages after the centerfold. And so you get 28 pages, which would be 56, or would be a 60-page book. I think that's what this one is. And so that's just an example there of how you get these, you know, these half sheets on books like this that can really throw you off if you're not used to seeing them before. I remember the first time I came across one, I thought something was wrong because I'd never seen it before. And it was on like a Boy Comics, I don't remember the issue, but a Boy Comics issue that I bought raw. And I was counting up the pages and I just couldn't figure it out because I was like, the page count is right. You know, it's like, I'm like, the page count is right, but it doesn't go evenly to the centerfold. And so I ended up kind of looking around on, I think that one, I looked around online to find the answer. And I think I found something on like a CGC page or CGC, one of like the CGC forums or something like that. And I've heard about half sheets. And it's just like, it's one of those things that you'll never hear about unless you come across it. And when you do, it can be really confusing. But yeah, Shield Wizard, number 12, really cool, World War II, beating up Nazis cover from, I don't remember when this is from. I closed it now. I don't want to open up again. 1942 or something like that. All right, final book. Got a Silver Age key. Got the first appearance of Hercules, Journey into Mystery Annual number 1. I haven't had one of these in a while. I just thought it was a good price and decided to pick it up. It's just one of those books that I feel like it's corrected pretty hard since the comic boom, and then since Thor Love and Thunder and kind of the disappointing reveal of Hercules in that movie. But it's a pretty nice book. It's got a couple creases down in the corner here, like one going this way and one going this way. And a little wear on the spine, but overall, solid presenting copy. Journey of Mystery Annual number 1, first appearance of Hercules. Great book. So those are all the books. I mean, I was just, I would say my most pleasant surprise was definitely the Shield Wizard. You know, like this one, I was not expecting it to be complete, and it happily was. But hopefully enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell, and I will see you on the next one.